ahead. It is your screen, your rules with MTN TV by Afromobile. Download it today. And as we get into the big stories, we start off with the Temples of Justice. The International Crimes Division of the High Court has exempted former Butambala County MP Mwanga Chivumbi from appearing in court every month while he remains in prison custody. However, the court has directed his 22 co-accused to continue appearing monthly as the prosecution prepares to commit them to the High Court. Chivumbi is expected in Butambala Magistrates Court tomorrow for a bail hearing.
Yes, among the conditions upon which the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi and 22 others were granted bail were to report before the International Crimes Division of this court once every month, starting 10th of August, which is today. So the 22 have appeared today, but court has dispensed with the appearance of the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi for as long as is still on remand or in prison, since it takes judicial notice that he cannot appear under such circumstances. So that means the 22 will keep on appearing like they have done today in satisfaction of that condition of bail. But we expect the Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi tomorrow in Butambala for further hearing of his bail application, specifically the response or reply by the state. The court was very clear that if this matter, effective the date when bail was granted, does not proceed to the hearing stage within 1 year, this court will have to review the terms or conditions of bail. This file is lagging or lacking on all requirements for it to be committed here for trial. But on the 22nd, we are going back to Tambala for purposes of the state appearing either to adjourn or to commit these people for trial. So we await the 20th to see if the state is ready for trial. Onus of proof is on the state, it's not ours. Ours is to defend our clients. We've always told you we have a file which has no statement whatsoever. So it is just a rare case that doesn't have any evidence. It is simply a holding charge. We are here on a holding charge. There is no evidence whatsoever.
The Uganda Parliamentary Muslim Caucus has condemned the circulation of confidential security recordings linked to the Susan Magara murder case on social media, saying the leak is intended to tarnish Islam's image. Addressing journalists at Parliament, Muslim legislators called for calm and unity, demanding a government investigation into how the recordings left court custody. They also urged UCC to hold further circulation.
To the convict in the video are fabrication, a distortion and blasphemous misinterpretation of the Islamic faith. They are found nowhere in the Holy Quran, nowhere in the authentic Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and nowhere in the settled scholarship of any recognized scholar within the Islamic jurisprudence. A criminal who commits a murder does not become a spokesperson of a religion. And let me repeat that. A criminal who commits murder does not become a spokesperson of a religion merely by invoking its name. A convict standing in dock for kidnap, murder holds no religious office, carries no scholarly authority, and represents no Muslim institution in Uganda. Islam condemns the act of taking innocent life in the strongest terms known to divine revelation. The Holy Quran chapter 5 verse 32 declares, "Whoever takes life, unless as a punishment for a murderer or mischief in the land, it will be as if they have killed all humanity. In simplicity, Islam teaches us that killing one person is equal to killing the entire humanity. So it's therefore wrong in Islam, unacceptable for someone to take another one's life.
The 36th Ordinary Police Organs Meeting, the 36th Ordinary Policy Organs Meeting of the Eastern Africa Standby Force has opened, focusing on building our secure region through partnerships and innovation. Speaking at the Experts Working Group meeting, UPDF Chief of Joint Staff, Lieutenant General Jack Vakasumba, representing the Commander-in-Chief, said the force must anticipate emerging security challenges while responding effectively to current threats facing the region.
History reminds us that enduring peace is not built through reaction alone. It is built through vision. It is sustained through cooperation, and is secured through institutions that are capable of anticipating tomorrow's challenges while responding to today's realities. The Eastern African Standby Force represents one of the clearest expressions of that vision. It embodies the collective determination of our member states to assume greater responsibility for the peace and security of our region, recognizing that stability cannot be achieved through isolated national efforts alone, but through partnership, shared responsibility, and mutual trust. As Africa continues to strengthen its own peace and security architecture, institutions such as the Eastern Africa Standby Force become increasingly important, not only because of what they are capable of doing in times of crisis, but because of the confidence they inspire in times of peace. Strong institutions reassure our citizens, they strengthen confidence among nations, they create the conditions within which development, investment, and regional integration can flourish.
As schools break off for holidays, police have reminded school administrators and drivers transporting children to strictly observe road safety guidelines. Schools using unauthorized routes must obtain clearance from the Ministry of Works and Transport. Drivers have also been cautioned against speeding, overloading and reckless driving. The warning follows the Namlanda crash that claimed 2 NBS staff members, with investigations still ongoing.
As schools begin breaking off for holidays, we are aware that some buses, or we know that some schools use buses to transport students to designated pickup points where they are collected by their parents or guardians, which is a very good norm. Buses to be used in such circumstances must obtain the necessary permission from the Ministry of Works and Transport, where they will be operating outside their usual authorized routes. We all know that these buses, especially the PSV buses, have route charts they operate on. So if they are to violate that and go for these children or students, they must have that clearance from the Ministry of Works and Transport. A fatal road crash that involved 2 motor vehicles was registered, where one of the vehicles drifted from its lane and collided with another vehicle which was carrying the employees of Next Media, killing 2 on spot and injured 1. Investigations into this crash are still ongoing. The driver of the vehicle that drifted from its lane is on the run, but we are progressing.
For thousands of Ugandans living with sickle cell disease, every day comes with the risk of severe pain, complications and premature death. Despite progress in diagnosis, treatment and awareness, major gaps in access to care continue to leave many patients and families struggling, raising fresh questions about Uganda's preparedness to confront the growing burden of the disease. Now joining us this afternoon on Quick Insight to put context to this is sickle cell advocate Daniel Odur. Daniel, many thanks for joining us this afternoon.
It's a pleasure joining you here. Thank you so much.
Well, of course, the question first and foremost is what is the current sickle cell disease burden in Uganda and how many people are living with the condition?
Well, thank you so much. In Uganda, annually, it's believed that we give birth to close to about 80,000 babies. That's for the entire country. And it's unfortunate to also note that we lose close to about 80% of these babies before they reach their 5th birthday. But due to a lot of interventions that have now come up, we are seeing this percentage also trying to drop down. Close to about 13.3% of the Ugandan population carry the sickle cell trait. And if you'll bear with me to note that sickle cell is a genetical blood disorder that is inherited from both the father and the mother if all of them are carrying the traits. The northern part of the country, of course, has the highest prevalence of sickle cell in the country, and we are still relying on statistics which was carried out way back in about 2016-14 by Dr. Grace Ndezi and her group. It puts the northern part of the country, especially Aleptong district, to be having the highest prevalence of sickle cell in the country at close to about 23.8%. Then you go to the eastern part of the country with close to about 17. Central here has 10. Then the western part of the country has close to 4.1%. Of course, there are different factors which come into play why those numbers keep on changing. You will agree that areas that tend to have higher prevalence of malaria also have higher prevalence of sickle cell in this region. But there has been lots of different efforts that have been put together by the Ministry of Health. Of course, I don't speak for the Ministry of Health, but we work closely with the ministry. There is the newborn screening, which has come up right now. This initiative is aiming at testing every baby or every newborn that has been given birth to into all the regional centers of excellence, even the lower health facilities, to make sure that we know their sickle cell status in order to improve on care and management of these babies. We have also closely worked with religious leaders, cultural leaders, and even key policymakers to drum in support of awareness and sensitization. The churches have been very instrumental in making sure that before they unite somebody in holy matrimony, there is one, a sickling test done to find out if they are carriers or not. But besides that, as CSOs, we have gone as far as to the last person down there with customized messages to make sure that do they know their sickle cell status before they get married.
Daniel, I was about to ask about the progress, but you did answer that. And of course, now the question is, whereas the progress has been registered, there certainly are also some challenges. You might want to share some of those with us?
Of course, when you're driving some of this awareness and maybe massive testing, there has been lots of logistical issues which do come up, and those are resources. But the other biggest problem is that not everybody is well aware of sickle cell, because most of them do associate sickle cell to witchcraft, which is not true. So we have been trying to demystify some of this myth, and also access to care and management of sickle cell through hydroxyurea. We are not yet still fully having hydroxyurea in certain parts of the country, despite the ministry's effort to make sure that the last person down there gets access to this life-saving medication. Quality Chemicals has introduced hydroxyurea, and which I believe this will be a game changer to enhance access and affordability to care and management of sickle cell disease in the country.
Well, thank you so much, Daniel Odo, for sharing with us quick insights today on Live at 1. We are going to take a short break. A reminder that you are in charge with MTN TV by AfroMobile. Go ahead, download that right there. It is MTN TV by AfroMobile. Be sure to download that. You are in charge of the content, how you consume it, and from where you consume it. We're now taking a very short break. NBS Live at 1 returns shortly with many more stories.
That's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Like drums. Kalakata, kalakata. We gonna do free on fire, free on fire, free on fire.
Why pay for someone else's repairs? Say goodbye to hidden costs and hello to peace of mind of a brand new start. Discover the Suzuki range of unmatched, fuel-efficient, and reliable options. From the iconic Jimny to the new Across Hybrid. Find the perfect blend of style and world-class efficiency. Upgrade today and enjoy 1 year of free fuel and comprehensive insurance, plus 2 years of free service and a 3-year warranty. Trade in your current car or choose financing to start driving as you pay installments. Don't wait. Visit the Suzuki showroom today or call 0800 211 033 to get started.
The National Mosquito Distribution Campaign is back. No one should die of malaria in this era. It is your responsibility to chase malaria from your home. The good news is that the government of Uganda has once again started distribution of mosquito nets under the 5th Universal Coverage Campaign, also known as the Under the Net campaign. Under this exercise, 1 mosquito net will be distributed for 2 people in every household. A village health team member, a community health extension worker, also known as CHU, and the LC1 chairperson will move house to house to register members of the household in preparation for receiving their mosquito nets. Do not lie back. Ensure that you register all your house members to receive a mosquito net. On the distribution date, move to your distribution point and receive your net. Mosquito net protects you and your family members from infectious mosquito bites that lead to malaria. Ensure that you receive the net, hang the net, and sleep under the net every night.
I drink it, rock up, boom, I dance, dance, dance. Nenye silver baka, I win it double, double. Boom chiki, boom chakala. Win it double, double.
Boom Chakala is back with double energy. Grab a rock boom. Oh, silverback energy. Check under the cap. What you see is what you win. Rock boom. Energy for winners.
Spice up your breakfast with Prestige margarine, easy to spread and fortified with vitamins A, D and E in the original and vanilla flavor, turning everyday moments into quiet indulgence. And now a delightful new experience unfolds. Introducing Prestige Fruity, a luscious fusion of creamy spread and strawberry flavor, bringing everything you love into one simple, delicious layer. No extra spreads, just pure fruity satisfaction in every bite. Prestige margarine, sprayed it, taste it, love it. Available in all shops and supermarkets nationwide. Distributed by Chapa General Enterprises, located at shop number 3, Rafik Building, Chikuwo, Kampala.
Start something new, something uplifting, something so effortless and golden. A thirst-quenching burst of sweetness and multi-flavor, so rich and full of memories. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Try it, savor it, feel it elevate every moment. Sip after sip, gulp after gulp. After all, life's about turning ordinary thrills into golden chills.
Start something malty with the new Evervest Malt Apple and Pineapple. Try the burst of sweetness and malty flavor. It's 100% taste, zero alcohol. Available in a shop or supermarket near you. Evervest Malt. Make every moment golden. Evervest Malt is from the makers of PepsiCo.
Welcome back. You are watching NBS Live at 1 with me, Tracy Kansime. LC2 elections are underway in Arua City, with voting taking place in Pangisa and Bazaar wards in Central Division, as well as Aivu Division. Now, voters began arriving at polling stations at 11 a.m. to cast their ballots. The Electoral Commission has not reported any major incidents so far as the exercise continues across affected areas of the city. We're joined by Joseph Omagor. Joseph, many thanks for joining us. Let's speak about the progress so far. In terms of the turnout, how has that been on the LC2 election?
Thank you so much, Tracy. Very good afternoon to you too. And everything has happened so fast. As I speak right now, most of the areas have actually concluded the exercise. And I think the Electoral Commission returning officer, Ezale, here will actually expound on that. But no major incidents have really been reported so far. Welcome to NBS Live at 1.
Thank you. Today marks the end of LEC's elections. The LEC2, we had only elections in 18 wards out of 54. In Central, we had only 3 elections in the 60 wards. But generally today, elections were very fast, as you said, and they all concluded. And we are already tallying the results.
Where we are standing here is Central Lane on Bazaar Ward, and we want just talk about the turn-up. How did people receive this LOC1 and LOC2 election? Because there seems to be nothing that happened in the communities.
The elections at the parish level or ward level are now electoral college. Now these are easy people that can be mobilized because they're the executives that are coming from the shells or the villages. So they're easy to mobilize and they can work without any problem because once they're informed, they can mobilize easily and they can understand easily. So that's why the elections ended well and peaceful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which areas have already concluded?
Most areas have concluded because out of the 54 wards we had, there were only elections in 18. That means the other ones were just formation of the committee members of the LC2, which I think results are now ready. Most places have concluded. Only that we are trying to receive them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can just explain the country how exactly we only had 18.
18 because there are positions that went unopposed. You know, where it is unopposed, that means elections will not take place there. But the formation of the committee members at LC2 will take place. That's what they basically did this morning. Now that's why the results mostly there. Yeah.
Let's talk about what's coming up tomorrow and tomorrow, the following day.
And now with the LC system, we are concluded today. There's no another LC2. You remember we elected the LC3s in the general elections. So we are still progressing with these elections. These elections are progressive in nature. Women started and we are still moving with women. Now we concluded women on last Friday. We concluded at parish level and we are going to compile their register at the sub-county or division level. So that one is going. I think the next election will be on 18th for sub-county elections. But the programs is going up to district level and up to national level. So we shall be having those elections.
All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Okay. That is the returning officer of the Electoral Commission here in Arua City. And of course, it says now the focus shifts to the women council elections. And of course, on the 18th, we shall be having them at the sub-county level. And of course, going upwards until we reach at the national level. Back to you, Tracy, at the Political Command Center.
Many thanks, Joseph Omagor. More on that story in our subsequent bulletins. Now, still speaking about elections, but this time a by-election, the race for the vacant Adjumani West parliamentary seat is gaining momentum, with at least 10 aspirants conducting voter consultations and preparing campaign teams ahead of the September 17th, 2026 by-election. The activity follows the Electoral Commission's release of the electoral roadmap covering nominations, campaigns and the polling. The seat fell vacant after the death of former Defense Minister General Moses Ali. And on this particular story this afternoon, we're joined by Martin Okudi. Martin, a very good morning, a very good afternoon, and many thanks for joining us. Now, in terms of the by-election and the roadmap that has been spelled out, how prepared are these candidates and how are the consultations going?
Good afternoon to you, Tracy, and the viewers. What I can confirm to you and the viewers is that the ball is already rolling because some of the aspiring candidates eyeing the seat of the Adjumani West constituency are already doing consultations. Others have done activation of their campaign team members. They are using different strategies to ensure that they become the best to represent the people of Adjumani West constituency. We all know that this seat fell vacant after the death of retired General Moses Ali last month on the 18th of last month, that is at Nakasero Hospital. And the Electoral Commission chairperson last week on Monday unveiled the election roadmap for the Adjumani West constituency by-election. Voting is going to take place on the 17th of next month, meaning that throughout these remaining days, the candidates will be traversing all the 4 sub-counties, including Adjumani Town Council, where I'm coming to you live from. Tracy and the viewers, all eyes will be here in Adjumani West constituency because General Moses Ali has been described or dubbed as the cock of West Nile. So everyone is waiting to see the person who is going to fit into the shoes, the big shoes actually he has left behind. The surprise news we got yesterday is that his son, who is also a younger brother to the State Minister for Ministry of Works and Transport, has thrown in the glove, and he is equally going to be part of the aspiring candidates, bringing into 10 the number of candidates who have already shown interest. Jumani West constituency has over 30,000 voters, so all eyes will be here, and the different aspiring candidates are already on the ground because the Electoral Commission has officially unveiled the roadmap. We shall keep the world abreast with what is happening here, and we shall be bringing details of some of these events in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you at the Political Command Center.
Martin Okudi, many thanks for joining us this afternoon, and he will be sharing with us more details in terms of what surely will be informing the decisions of the people of Adjumani West. Now, in Jinja City, leaders have decried rising sexual violence against children, calling for collective action to combat the vice. The call was made during the launch of a community action team by Rescue One More, aimed at documenting, following up and supporting prosecution of sexual violence cases in Busoga. The team brings together police, political leaders, probation officers, health workers and community development officers.
One of the things we commit to is working alongside the stakeholders, supporting them. If the case has come to police and we need to do arrests, Rescue One More will facilitate the police to do the arrests. Rescue One More facilitates the police to do the scene of crimes. Rescue One More facilitates the police surgeon to do the medical checkups. And at the same time, we do follow up with the court. We facilitate. If the survivor has to come to court to testify, we transport the child and the family or the mother or the guardian to come to court. All the time they are supposed to come. So all this we do so that the police and the judiciary and the probation office knows and has the capacity to help these children.
You know, sometimes after a person has been sexually assaulted, we end up not having where to place them. But with the coming in of Rescue One More, we believe we are going to do a lot.
It is really a privilege that we are having them. Statistics show that Busoga sub-region is one of the regions with the highest number of cases of sexual abuse, child sexual abuse. And of course, the structures are there. But with the coming of Rescue One More, it's going to improve actually our services, it's going to improve coordination, and it's also going to improve to pursue some of these cases that sometimes have been lying idle, or sometimes cases that have been mismanaged between court and police.
So defilement is rampant nearly in every corner where you may not expect, or even where you may expect, defilement is taking place. So we know that it is something that we need to ensure we fight collectively.
Rescue One More in Jinja!
That story brings us to the end of NBS Live at 1. For more on these stories, do join us in our subsequent bulletins, starting, of course, with the 4:30 news updates later, NBS Amasengeje at 7 p.m. and, of course, NBS Live at 9. And as we head out, a reminder that you have a choice. You are in charge. It is your screen, your rules, and you get to decide what kind of content you want to consume, how you want it consumed, and, of course, be in charge of your entire viewing experience, including you being in charge of your streaming. That can only happen with MTN TV by Afro Mobile. Go ahead and download it across, of course, iOS devices as well as Android devices. That brings us to the end of our NBS Live at 1 bulletin, and we see you later this afternoon. Good afternoon.
brought to you.
Now Boosty! Funa Boosty with the extreme energy and refreshing taste of Sting Energy Drink. Available countrywide at only 2,000 shillings. Must be Sting. From the makers of Pepsi.
Scotland. That's of course Nayo Bungereza. You know, that's UK.
UK.
The big side.
That means into wabaddewo movement ekoleddwa. Kyendabyeko ndowooza
upgrade is over.
Omanye bya Uganda nagamba nti kati nakijjawo ekyogambo musambi upgrade nze ta upgrade nze why? Because the goal is one. Mu luto kituufu era pathi ye oba oyagala ogirabe ng'egenda bulungi ddala. However, nze kyensinza okwagala omujozi number 19 ndabyeko abamu ku baamukuza nga bagenda nga bagamba nti yayagala nnyo ennamba eyo n'atasobola gifuna gy'abadde naye kati agifunye era bw'otunulira bulungi buli kimu kitambula nga bw'oyinza okuba ng'ogamba yize also osobola omuyita box to box naye abasinga bamuyita midfielder ali modern asobola okubaako byakola height ne size byebyo ebisamba omupiira just like other players naye nga bw'ogambye nze ndowooza nti katusaba abaana baffe kye tuba tusooka okusaba they get playing time oba kitebe si bye tuwadde tuwandise ku Rogers Mato nti ebbanga libadde bina naye eddakiika ze zisinga nti yazifunye ejjo so kye tulina okuba nga twogerako is agenze yes he changed but motive kyeba mu kukyusa tiimu more playing time and progression of your career.
Alright, tujja kwa tubangaliza ebirungi fona okkirizanyiriza bannaffe abali ku NBS Big Political Command Center tubakulisa okuva mu live atwano obadde Tracy bwetu okubawa bice bigenda maaso omusiye emizanyo bano of course tubajikiza MTN TV ojja kusobola kuba nti omanya bice bigenda maaso lots of content mwingi vuga osobola kwanga okulaba ku MTN TV by Afro Mobile so downloading already Afro Mobile upgrading osobola kuba nti onyumirwa the big MTN TV fona okkiriza twagala genda ko Germany okumanya mawulire ki agaliyo naddala mukadde kano. All right, a very good afternoon once again. It's time we head to Berlin for an update on the German football for the roundup. We are joined by our correspondent, Thomas Sparrow. Thomas, a very good afternoon to you. And let's begin with the big transfer from the Bundesliga of the Jan Diamonde from RB Leipzig to Real Madrid. Can you fill us into the whole story?
What a transfer that was. 19-year-old Jan Diomande from Leipzig. He had only been at Leipzig actually for 1 year since 2025. He actually arrived at Leipzig only with a handful of matches as a professional footballer and now leaves as Africa's most expensive player. He joins 15-time Champions League winners Real Madrid in what is being described as probably one of the most important signings of this summer in Europe. Jan Diomande, also a player that was very important in the World Cup, playing for his national country for Ivory Coast, and a player that here in Germany in the Bundesliga last season was really outstanding. The words to describe him are really from most media that have said he's one of the greatest talents and one talent that will now obviously leave the Bundesliga and play for Real Madrid. This cements Real Madrid's standing as a team that actually buys players, young players, before they reach their peak, even if that means paying a lot of money for them. We're talking here of up to 140 million euros, and it cements the standing of RB Leipzig as a team that is a springboard for talents, a springboard for players who go to this team, RB Leipzig, and then join some of the bigger teams in Europe. You may know Dani Olmo, for example. You may know other players as well. Szoboszlai, who now plays in Europe, who now plays in Liverpool. Those are all players that have left their mark at Leipzig before actually moving to other parts of Europe. So a very big signing indeed, and one that has left a mark here in the Bundesliga and very probably will leave a mark also in the Spanish league with Real Madrid.
A new German manager is set to play a big role in the Premier League. That's none other than Matthias Gensli, moved to Newcastle. Can you tell us more about him?
Actually, Gensli, well, he's not someone who's very well known, or at least not as well known as other German trainers. You may know Jürgen Klopp or Nagelsmann, but Gensli, a very young, very talented trainer that has now actually become one of the Premier League's outstanding also trainers for the upcoming season, joining Newcastle, so one of the very big teams in the Premier League, replacing Eddie Howe, who was also a very important manager at Newcastle. And what this signing actually shows is also Newcastle's interest in, on the one hand, having a young trainer that can leave a mark, that can leave his own mark in Newcastle, that can bring in the players that he wants. So it's not necessarily a trainer that is very well known or that already brings, let's say, a style that is completely defined. And that is something that was also important for Newcastle, bringing a young talent, a young trainer to lead the team into their next phase. Jaisle is relatively well known here in Germany, but he reached as a trainer most of his success in Saudi Arabia and in Austria. So while on the one hand he does have success as a trainer, those who are questioning this signing by Newcastle say that he doesn't necessarily have experience at the highest level with the team in the Premier League. And by the way, not only a team in the Premier League, but a very important team in the Premier League as well. So all eyes will be placed on this German trainer to see how much he can develop Newcastle, how much he can bring success to Newcastle, how many players he can bring, how many stars he can bring in. So a lot of pressure for a young, very talented trainer in Newcastle, Jaisle.
And switching back to the Bundesliga, how are the preparations going on as teams gear for the league?
Well, you can imagine that most teams are preparing for the league, also for the German Cup, which will start before, for the German Super Cup, in the case of two of those very important teams. And most of them have been playing friendly matches, for instance, against Premier League teams as well. Bayern Munich beating Aston Villa during their Asia tour. Also Dortmund playing Premier League teams, Leipzig and so on. So what these teams have actually in common is that they're preparing on the one hand with some of the new players that they have brought in. Bayern Munich have brought in several new players, most importantly, obviously, Saibari from PSV Eindhoven, but also Nathaniel Brown, a young German talent. And the challenge is bringing those players into the team while also making sure that the stars that were there last season or even the seasons before can actually be brought up to speed, especially if they were playing in the World Cup. So you may think that obviously Bayern with Harry Kane, with Michael Olise, those are two players that had a very important role during the World Cup, and they've been brought back progressively. So from that perspective, teams are now preparing for the coming season. If you look specifically at Bayern, the main challenge that they will have is to, on the one hand, to defend their double, the double that they won last season, so Bundesliga and German Cup, but they will also want to obviously leave a mark in the Champions League. That remains a sore point for the German champions, because while they have left their mark here many times in the German National League, in the past few years, they have actually been eliminated from the Champions League either in the quarterfinals or in the semi-finals. So that is something that this year they will want to change, specifically under Vincent Kompany as manager, a manager that is also leaving his mark in Bayern Munich.
Thomas Parro from our partner station DW in Berlin, Germany. I wish you all the best for this very good afternoon. We're going to take a short break, but of course, when we come back, we have lots for you, of course, from the Premier League, Community Shield, and of course, the big transfers. Let's get about. So for now, let's take that short break. Be back.
Now Boosty! Funa Boosty with the extreme energy and refreshing taste of Sting Energy Drink. Available countrywide at only 2,000 shillings. Must be Sting. From the makers of Pepsi.
Who are you? I'm Fake, the boss king.
Oh, you gotta go the rush walk away. Oh, you gotta red rush walk away. Ulida Boosty, Ulida. Funana, Funa Boosty. Funa Boosty with the extreme energy and refreshing taste of Sting Energy Drink. Available countrywide at only 2,000 shillings. Must be Sting. From the makers of Pepsi.
Every tricolor flag tells a story. Every anthem stirs a memory. Every Independence Day reminds us of the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering spirit that shaped a nation. This 79th India Independence Day, celebrate with Radio Wala by sharing your personalized Independence Day message across Radio Wala, Next Radio, and NBS TV, reaching thousands across Uganda and beyond. Join us in honoring the spirit of freedom while showcasing your brand as part of this meaningful celebration. Special India Independence Day advertising packages start from 1 million Uganda shillings. Reserve your spot today. Call or WhatsApp 0774-290-800. Radio Wala. Let's play.
It's been a long time coming. It's Vinka.
Yo, Vinka.
And we've been cooking something big. Skyview and Swans Avenue proudly present Vinka Live and Loud. It's going to be an endless hit, tune ko tune on Friday the 21st of August at Lugogo Cricket Oval, where the experience is going to be like no other. Music louder, flavors harder, lights brighter, vibes bigger. So bring your crew and grab your favorite ice cold sky view and let's get it on. So grab your ticket right now on the Momo app or dial *165*20#. The Vinka Live and Loud concert is brought to you by Swans Avenue and Skyview. Skyview, more flavor, more fees, more fun.
And that's it for today. Till the next episode.
Like a daily bando, like a daily bando, like a daily bando. Omuliro nguwulira muli mu mutima kukankana like drums. Kalakata, kalakata, endungu ya kusabula. We gonna do free on fire, free on fire, free on fire.
Better study tips. Scammers often pose as friends or family to gain your trust. Always verify requests for money or personal data, even if they seem urgent. A quick call to the person or company claiming to contact you can save you from falling victim to this deceit. In partnership with Uganda Communications Commission and NBS.
This is not just a run. This is a movement with purpose. Join us on 30th August 2026 at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds for the Cancer Run 2026, starting at 6 a.m. Also taking place simultaneously in other districts across Uganda for the completion of the One-Stop Cancer Center at Nsambya Hospital. Registration is only 30,000 Ugandan shillings online using Gonza Pay. Gates are available at all Centenary Bank branches, Capital Shoppers outlets, Bread House branches, the Cancer Run office on Zimwa Road, Muyenga, the Rotary Uganda office at Nick Building, and Rotary clubs across the country. The Rotary Cancer Run 2026 is organized in partnership with the Parliament of Uganda, Centenary Bank, Crystal Water, and
NBS Sport, championing Ugandan sport.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. An artist, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yuga Tunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
Now Boosty! Funa Boosty with the extreme energy and refreshing taste of Sting Energy Drink. Available countrywide at only 2,000 shillings. Must be Sting. From the makers of Pep.
tukyetaaga obubonero ekitone nnyo obubonero 6 okusiringa nti tuyiseewo tukulemedde ekibiina n'obubonero 17 kituufu naye tukyetaaga obubonero tiimu tenayitawo naye tumanyi bwetwandolinga bulungi emipiira egiddako ebiri tujja kuba tusobola okugenda mu rawundi eddala
tene nebaza ne bannabuddu abatindiza okujja e Buluuli ate n'abo basigadde waka nga batusabira nga bwe twabategeeza nti ku mulundi guno bya ddala
Mukama n'atuwa tusobola okuwangula Sese tugenze ku bubonero 8 ako tugenda okuzimbira nga tugenda okulumba Staboni Kyaggwe ku Sande naye
Alright, beto eba mukuba abadde mpira gy'amasaga Buganda match day 7 oba round yokubiri nga bakazanya muchenkana emipiira ebiri wetwogera kakati abamba asodo kwanga baje obonere waka obumbaganye wabala tabamu babadde bafeesa bweto nga Buddu eyafeeseza ku Buluuli bati asodo kwanti abetaguliza ko egolo za 2-1 banakyagwe namne bangulo mpira gwabwe nabadengo beda kabala na gomba ebigambo byabadde bitabuse mu katono so mpira jadi minyo ndala awetwogera kakati tebo nga bayimiridde abamorede okugula okumabazo kwaba kujjayo okumu abamu bayinoko tuyinza okwesanga biganye ng'essaza lya Bulemeezi abwete bawanguddwa pira kutwalituloza nti bajja kuyimiriza olw'okufa kwa Roger n'ebigambo Sebyondya okay. Ne baga nti kijja kuba kigenda maaso okusinza kugenda maaso
taata Sebyondya yayogedde ebikankana n'ebyawano naye nga awo wetulindoza Buddu remains the only unbeaten team up to until this point wadde mulimu uko ku maliri Kyaggwe ekyalaga nti eri stronghold erinamu blip of course y'amaliri n'okkubwa naye nga naye kulaga eri on the verge of qualification and so
ne Butambala bwetyo
nze nkomyawo
kale byefaananya byekera basokwangula bamujimbire jage basokwagizanyibwa so tuyozayoza abasodo kwati bakoze bulungi abamu bakyalina okuluma n'ogwengulo boolyawo
Buddu eno lwakwegiraagira basambamu omupiira gwabwe gwatambudde naye buddakiika z'abadozi didyanzijukize babadde baweseza eddakiika babakubye egolo ng'omupiira gwakatandika
bagiyita simuka
bagiyita sumagiza bagiyita bweba temunnatereera mwe mumanyi
just to confirm Buluuli abuvume emwe ne Busujju akyaddondo ya beti myesaza byebwekula ate Buluuli bakubiddwa 2-1 Busiro emuziro nga kubati myesese Kyaggwe ne wangula Mokota Gomba emuziro ku Bulemeezi Abutambala 2-1 ku Bugerere
Batambala kakyeka bakulembedde ekibinja amatali galabika gakulembedde
points 14 Buddu yesinza okumanya points nyingi sofa bali mu bibinja points 17 okufaanana ku timu yasaza le Kyaggwe points 16 Ibutambale wajibene wale mutabani wange bonna baveeyo Butambale baji nyo Butambale mekka ye Uganda
babuzayo emipiira 3 naye bo kasita bawangulako ebiri bajja kuba bayiseewo
nfaana kole Gomba ne Sese bakoze bulungi kata ate Bulemeezi Mokota Busiro ekintu kitokutasiisana kile kakati awo wale kibayita okunyena kombi swane wana Busujju eyo tugita kusaga nagamba ne Kyaddondo
ebiri bagirese gap ya mipiira ebiri Kyaddondo of course steady but sure buvume eyo emajje eyo gyenva ne Julius Chaze Waswangs Avenue yetulina bwetyo gyetuva mpozi yali mu kintu kya Vinka my girl
ya kiri munyo
Veronica
the beautiful Vero
so no you can amalusu
wakatenga tujja kusebya ffe twagala okwebaza kye twatandika tulina batusaka amawulire abantu ba region ya Nkole
ng'ogenda mu region ya Nkole bannabuddu ne bannamawokota balinze beene nga 22 ekunjako ekumato ga injini
nga 22 ye wikirijja kale tujja kuba tubadde so abantu mujje tubere ffenna abaana bakikalire nyimbo nja kawo nga 22 nga tujja kuza amatikira ga 23 ate nga n'amaato kyalo ko bazanyo engineer Ben Misaga apoito but ankole couple ye book media abaddeyo erya eyakulembeddwa mu patron ngabogere baso kwangu abana banna mungi w'abantu ababadde obungi nnyo ddala abantu ba ankole mwebale mwena from Ibanda agenda bweju agenda mpaka Ntungamo Mbarara region yonna bakungalidde mu final era okakananga Ibanda Ibandizo omuntu abweto ye Honorable Peter Agaba
ngawe balina mu studio
ngawe twabalina
ba Honorable yali atudde wane ani
yali atudde eyo ono Honorable amanya we gundi we Igara West that's Bushenyi yakubidwa
agema yo yanyumidde gwagezo tandika nga guli bilizi twagezo kulanga guli bilizi era omuntu je bamusindi ukide bamuvema bega kuko nti ate bilibili ate okuddamu naye kinasizo kwagala the turn up the turn up muleke mbabulireko abantu bagala something that belongs to them ngawola ba masaza nti abantu there is attachment to Buganda kati ngawola bankole cup there are people
bano ba VIP
si banyankole boka naffe je tuli abalala abagenda yo nti there is an attachment ekulaga nti ekisooka ensimbi ezisabiwa ku gate ekiri awo si muto si mukulu nti tebagenda kumokola gagamba abantu bamanye ebyobuwangwa look at the turn up mwenga mukyali bwe look at the turn up
abavudde katereza
Honorable Zibodna abadde involved n'abatandika the masterminds behind Ankole Cup behind Busoga Cup behind Muline Chikope Bunyoro Cup then in look sente kisoka ze bulina kuba declaring walawe ba
wachati wano changu nyo for potential sponsorship
yatawo good sponsor nga kugamba returns on investment weziri oga mchala Sylvia Mulinge nti abali awo wakiro jafuna ya 50 nga registerings nateka wawo gundi MTN nga tabagamba kugenda ku MTN by Afro Mobile TV kubikola kiba kyagenze naye nga of course right honorable Thomas Tayebwa yabaddeyo mukulu Balambaru gahare namulabyeyo ko mu ntambula ze zino zonna musuza n'abakuba omuziki n'omupiira gwennyini
batambu basesezzo omupiira
baba bennyini abe naye mukundane yeetaaga ob'ekirabo nabadde mulabye mu Nairobi Stars
ono yabaddewo nejerese
kuitala era ndabyeko ani I think abadde Brian Ahebwa wagaye nti bihogo tumuongere omutima
kale kasoka tulize ebigambo bya patron wetu deputy speaker Thomas Tayebwa abako n'ebigambo bya sibula n'okuteeka
professional player eje mpira ja back to back ejo
MP wanyu orabure kwisha mumubuze abo kubanya wayabanjira nyo speaker mukama wabo nkaza kwakira baramu uboni baba bari bahaba MP abakonga kujya kubachi bije babeho tumukwase orutaro Notaro president aragirire Notaro ukeneye mukatura agirire tuze kuwanisa ushuma so barije mu bakire itano ikumi na itano
twatandika tournament eno ka petroni waffe olunaku olwaleero tuli naye mu finals right honorable
nga kukomekezebwa bbiri apweto timu ya Ibanda ne kuba 5-4 mpaka detogerako eza Ankole Cup ekikopo kino balina kifunulamu abafune omuntu bakola yakatandika bakifune that identity entuufu kikola mulimu ente mukikola ekintu nga kinene nnyo nekino kyabuze mu kiringa kyaba Yusufu Kabenge era ekyo waffe namutamba mwongere okutukuterezaamu katono but of course nga twogera kwebera nga tunasibira banafu abaliko NBS the big command center Arsenal yawanguddwa nene wangula ekikopo
esangibwa ku MTN by Afro Mobile TV NBS kweri
kale timu ya Arsenal yawanguddwa omupiira nga Dortmund emukuba jekirantu wakati mu weekend nga bakamala okulangira Bruno Guimaraes batbasobola okuba bangudde Emirates Cup bwebinjawulo ebiri mu kikopo kino bwetyo ngekere basobola okubanga ewangula wakati gwe angeri basobola 7+
bamutunda and Bruno Guimaraes of course yavuddeyo yakubye ekizwaro kyekipale ekyalagibwa
namba 3 eya taxi ya muzeeyi
kipale kifaananyemu ekya mutabani wange
nekyo kina nsiro kyambala ku lwomukamba
anti naye ne mutabani wange musuuza waggulu awo akikuba jazi 39 fena yatubulidde ensonga lwaki adyambala ye taxi number gye baali bavuga ewaabwe nga bagenda mu maaso ne beerekereza ssente ziva mu taxi bamutwale ku mupiira